Don't ask me to talk.
From the sublime to the ridiculous.
Join me, Stacey Heller,
And me, Eric Ryder.
as we talk about what's good to watch, read, see, listen to, and more.
An edutaining 1-hour break in your day that includes the segment, What Are We Eating? Sponsored by Dingfelder's Delicatessen.
Stick with us for something good. Hey everyone, welcome to Don't Ask Me to Talk on Kixie. I am one of your hosts, Stacey Heller. I'm joined by Eric.
Eric Ryder, that's me.
There he is. So this show is basically about whatever we think is good enough to share with the world, because who doesn't need more good stuff?
That's right.
So we seem to cover the gamut with the Wheel-O topics that we spin each week at the end of the episode. And it makes me laugh because the little noise at the end, it reminds me, I feel like I should be at like one of those jousting events, the sound that it makes. And typically we do that.
One of those jousting events that you get off to every weekend.
I mean, some people do. Like, isn't there like the... Like, I'm Henry VIII, I am fest.
Well, yeah, I think there's Ren fairs or Renaissance fairs.
Yes, that.
I'm not sure how much actual jousting is happening these days.
Well, but there are chicken or turkey legs being consumed. And it's become at this point like a Pavlovian response, because we typically talk to Vance and then we do the Wheel of Topics.
That's
and
right.
so then that makes me think about turkey legs. Yeah. My mind
Or a
is...
turkey sandwich.
Or a turkey sandwich.
Yep.
So anyway, thanks to everyone that listens live to the show, and to those of you that are listening to the podcast. Remember that you can listen to, subscribe, rate, and comment on the show. And you can do the same with my other show, Stacey Connects, wherever you find your podcasts. If you didn't know, I have another show on our sister station, KKNW. It airs live Tuesdays from 3 to 4. And perhaps you have an idea or a topic or something good to share. We would love to hear about it. Maybe you have some better ideas to put on the Wheel of Topics. This week we're talking about hikes. I'm not going to have a lot to say. I'm not going to lie. And so if you have some other ideas, then please text or call 475-999-2726. Are you going to give a variation?
Oh, yes, of course. Or you can call 475-999-CRAM.
I think we're going with cram.
That's right.
I mean, it just seems to be the thing that is sticking.
It sticks in the head.
It does. So we would
It's
love...
crammed its way in there.
Right? Because we've shoved it. We've crammed it.
Careful now.
I know. Well, and we also cram a lot of good things to share in this show.
Absolutely.
Like... What is today? Now,
what is today?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
It's Thursday, June 9th.
It's Thursday, June 9th, which means that it is National Donald Duck Day.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm a little ambivalent.
He's got his own day. I wonder about the other characters then. Do they have...
I mean, it would be goofy if they didn't.
Ha ha!
Yes, that's right. I just made
How
a
does
joke.
Donald Duck get a day and I don't?
Settle down there. Yeah, I went on a Disney cruise once, and Pete decided that the spa treatment that Pete's my husband, the spa treatment that he would get was teeth whitening. And I'm like, you're going to let any old Mickey Mouse doctor like whiten your teeth? And because on a cruise, everybody has like multiple jobs that they do. And so I just was like, was it one of the princesses that whitened your teeth? I don't know. It seemed like an odd spa treatment. But, he's my guy.
Also, the buffet, I think, is the big draw of many a cruise. So
Not the teeth whitening?
Yeah, to do the teeth whitening and then try to enjoy the buffet feels a little contradictory.
I mean, honestly, it's one of those little random things that I tease him about all the time. And, it's our loving shorthand.
You got to have in-jokes.
You do have to have in-jokes. Today is also National Sex Day. So if you haven't spoken to your significant other or your children about sex, you know what? You can't talk about it too early or too often to normalize it. And help your kids and yourself make smart choices. And then it's also National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day, which to me is how to ruin a strawberry pie day.
I'm just the person that manages to combine all these things into one awesome holiday. My hat's off to you.
I'm just saying. So, a busy day. More important, though, than Donald Duck Day, National Sex Day, or National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day, though, I would say is International Children's Day, which is actually Sunday, the 12th. Now, I had to look this up because on my handy-dandy calendar of holidays, it didn't necessarily come up. Well, I found out that this was started back in the 40s. It was Children's Day. And then it went to, I can't remember if it was UNESCO or whatever the organization was that decided to make this a global thing. And so every country actually picks the day that they want it to be Children's Day. And so then it's International Children's Day. So it's not a universal date, but it's a universal concept. And so we actually have a guest, Eric Krima, and he does, you are the Business Development Director for Hubbard Radio Seattle, right?
Doesn't that sound fancy?
It sounds really fancy, especially
Very
since
fancy.
I know you, and I'm like, is that what he does? And
Nobody really knows.
Well, I mean, and that's the best kind of job to have. And basically, you're my go-to with these shows that I do and that I've roped Eric into. And you put together, along with a whole team of people, something that is being sponsored through another Hubbard station, Warm 106.9. Is it Warm 106.9? Yeah, Warm 106.9.
Yep.
I'm like, and it is called Operation Teddy Bear Lift.
Yep, very excited about it.
So,
but first, I have to say, so I was putting myself on mute a lot at the beginning of the show. I was cracking up at your comments, both of you. Nicely done at the intro. It was all I could do not to join in. I loved your comment, Eric, about combining everything into one holiday.
well, I mean, honestly,
The imagery there.
right? I mean, Donald Duck having pie after a date. I mean,
Well, yeah. I mean, famously, he doesn't wear pants. So, I mean, you can do the math.
right. So, I mean, this is why you need to talk about sex. So, Operation...
Put your pants on, right?
Right? Exactly. Oh, my gosh. No pie for you. So, Operation Teddy Bear Lift is basically like a way to give hope, healing, and kind of like hugs to kids that are from the Ukraine that have been displaced or impacted by this war. And there's a lot of bears that are going.
Yeah, 10,000 bears. I don't know if we actually counted them. I'm thinking we did. I think we came dang close because it's per pallet.
Okay.
But yeah, this is a 2-month-long adventure, and it really began after I had a quick conversation with a different client that we have here, and actually was an agency and their client, because I was going a bit of a different direction with this idea, and then you and I spoke very early on, and I want to thank you for all your advice and counsel, because it's been an amazing 2 months, as you know, because you and I have been bantering back and forth about the progress. And like anything like this, Stacy, it's a stop-start, right? It's never an A to Z linear drive, same speed. You kind of go off track a little bit. Okay, that's not going to work. So we come back.
It's like chutes and ladders.
Absolutely, chutes and ladders, and getting 10,000 teddy bears from here to a war zone is not that easy, as I came to find out. But through the help of people like you and our staff members and other agencies, I mean, it's amazing. I counted it up. I think we're up to 8 or 9 different agencies that have helped us. Some completely anonymous. Others have had to be so integral into the to getting the bears that they've become part of the overall program, including you and what you do with Stacy Connect. So that's the first thing I had to get off my chest is a big, big, big thank you.
Oh, I am embarrassed by how little I did, but so pleased that this is taking flight. See what I did there?
Ah, nice. Well,
Uh,
you know how well, I'm sure both you and Eric have had this in your life where it, somebody just gave you that spark that, we can do this, or you can do this, or that's a great idea. Just that little bit of affirmation
mhm.
really goes a long way when you're trying to achieve something new that's new to you, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And these teddy bears are going to have quite the journey.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, they were in. You mentioned, pallets here in Seattle in a
Yeah.
storage facility in Kent, I think.
Yeah, if you don't mind, do we have time? I can give kind of the brief story of how
Yeah,
they're going to get.
please.
Okay. So there's a company called Seiko or Seiko, SEKO, and they're a logistics company that's global, and they were already working with the Ukrainian Association of Washington State, and that association, along with other associations in the states here in the United States, have really been putting together drives mainly to send medicine and sadly things like helmets and flak jackets for civilians so that they can just go outside from time to time
Sure.
in between shelling, and be somewhat safe. So they were already working with them on some mercy flights over there. So that was the connection we initially made.
Okay.
But going way back to COVID, the listeners to Warm 106.9, familiar with the Operation Teddy Bear Patrol, had been buying brand new teddy bears and through Bartels, and those teddy bears were stored in hopes of giving those to children here locally in situations like car accidents or
Okay.
a domestic dispute or something like that to comfort them. But through COVID, the rules and regs weren't allowing us to do that, to pass them out. So
Ah.
these bears basically multiplied. So suddenly we had over 10,000 bears at a storage facility at Bartels. So the question is, what can we do with these bears to help mankind, womankind? How can we do this? So the idea came to us that why don't we just send them to the Ukraine and use them as a way to put a spotlight on what's going on in the war, even more than what is already there, but also the plight of children, and hopefully raise some money for neonatal incubators. Because as in the war-torn country, as medical facilities, hospitals, these sorts of things are being bombed, they're literally losing these things that keep people alive, including infants. So that was sort of the idea. And then as we started building it through Seiko, they were like, well, we'll take the bears, we'll put them in our warehouse, and then we'll start talking to our vendors and see if somebody is willing to give up some space on their airplane. And then came along United Airlines, which graciously said, we will take those bears if you can get them to Chicago and bring them to Frankfurt, Germany.
Wow.
So then now you're filling, like you said, chutes and ladders or the puzzle. You're filling the front end and the back end. Okay, now we will truck them through a company called Forward Air from Kent to Chicago. They'll get onto a United Airlines, go to Frankfurt, and then they'll get into some organizations that are local there onto trucks there to be brought into country, into the war-torn Ukraine, and then distributed to children who are in orphanages and hospitals and in temporary homes and foster care, these kinds of things, as a way to just say, you're not alone.
Mhm.
We love you. We're here. Here's something to maybe, at least in the moment, take your mind off of all of the heartache and the hardship. And then we're appealing to listeners of Warm 106.9, a big reason why I'm on the show today, to talk to your audience. And then social media throughout all of the Hubbard properties. We're really asking people to go online and donate for
Mhm.
these neonatal incubators.
I love that. I mean, it's upcycling in the best way to take these bears that couldn't go into the arms of local kids, and now they get to go to kids that just need something to cling to, something that's portable that they can cling to, that can give them some kind of comfort. And the fact that listeners are able to do that and, essentially sponsor a bear, if you will, and
Yes.
make a donation, and then also provide that additional medical care. It's shoots and ladders, but it culminates in such an amazing thing. And it's been really exciting to see this whole thing go from the seed of an idea to something that has just, blossomed. What feels like
Absolutely.
overnight.
From that very first time you and I spoke on the phone, and you pumped me up with just all your great ideas and positive energy. From that time to the time last week when I was watching Q13 News, and they were out at the warehouse, and we had our morning show team there, and we had our bear there from Warm, and actually two different people from On Air, and our promotion team was there doing all the filming and interviewing. And then they were interviewing Lilia, who is with the Ukraine Association of Washington State. She's their CEO. And just the passionate way she talked about, yes, we need medical. Yes, we need munitions, unfortunately, to win this war. We need things to keep our people safe on the ground. But for the children, they need hope. And they need a moment of respite, a respite moment from all their trials and tribulations, just for a moment to be a kid and feel that thing that I think any of us, when you got a special toy, felt when you were very young.
Yep.
And here's how I knew we were right on the right track, not just speaking with you, but it was about 2 weeks after we first spoke that I contacted Lilia Kovalenko of Ukraine Association of Washington State. And when I mentioned the bears, she gasped, and I said, "What's wrong?" She goes, "One of those bears were given to my child after a car accident here in Seattle."
Oh.
And this was like 3 years ago. And I just got chills. I was like, well, okay, we're on the right track then. This is going to happen.
It's the universe coming together. Well, and there's something as simple as when things are hard emotionally, whatever trauma you're going through, when things are hard, to have something soft to cling to and as I said, and something portable that these kids can take with them, and they can, stuff it in their jacket or their pocket or under their arm and just have something to cling on to. That is such a powerful thing. And basically, we would love listeners to consider a donation. The embarrassment of riches that I feel like I have with 4 kids that, have not ever had any kind of trauma, although they may tell you differently because I'm their mother. But, they're so fortunate. And, so I know that I have already made a donation kind of with each kid in mind, sort of thinking about my own kids and, making sure that I can do what I can as a sign of gratitude for the embarrassment of riches that I have and support for these children in Ukraine who right now as a global community, we need to put our arms around them.
You're absolutely right. And I think about that often too, the spoils of riches that we all have, just simply being born in this country is amazing. Going to the faucet and turning on and instantly having water that is clean and drinkable. A good portion of the world doesn't have that. And yes, there's so much that needs to be done around the world. There are people that are just starving for food and the very basics of medicine out there. And so there's lots that we can do. This just happened to be one that was within my realm to at least start talking about. And thank goodness I have this great circle of people that I know that help put this all together. It was a huge team effort. I've mentioned 8 different organizations besides Citgo, Bartell Drugs, United Airlines, and Forward Air. There was Olympic Hot Tub, and of course, Stacy Connects. That sounds kind of familiar. And S Media and Kind Radio, which are interestingly on 1150 AM, our sister station. They are Russian-speaking language programming, but they are from people who have either fled Russia or immigrated and that sort of thing, and they want to see these changes. They're heartbroken too because they have families in that country trapped, and it's a very emotional thing for them too. So my heart feels really good these days from what we've accomplished, Stacy, and I just feel great about it.
Well, I so appreciate the fact that, I love sharing ideas. It's what I do. And so the fact that I got to play any kind of a part in this, and I would encourage listeners to consider, again, making a donation, however small, it doesn't matter.
Yes.
It's not about the amount. It is about truly, it's the putting a little bit of money behind the thought that counts. If you are interested in learning more about Operation Teddy Bear Lift, you can go to warm106.9.com. And when you get to the main page, there is a tab that says Community, and follow the tab down, and Operation Teddy Bear Lift. You can go there, and there's a button where you can click to donate. There is a video that you can watch, and there is more details about the partners and the program. And, there's a lot of places where we can spend our money, but maybe don't have Starbucks on International Children's Day, and instead consider a donation.
Thank you so much. If you don't mind, I'd like to give that out again. That's warm1069.com. You can also go directly to the Ukraine Association of Washington State, because the first drop down in their donation page is for Operation Teddy Bear Lift, which is really cool. And that's uaws.org, uaws.org. I wonder, with people like you, Stacy, you're kind of like a doctor or something. I could just see you at a dinner party and people come up to you and want to have great ideas to bounce off you. And you're like, hey, I'm off the clock. You're always thinking about, and I don't care what it's been that I've brought you. You're just like, oh, what if you did this? And it's funny because you're able to see the forest, the trees. You can step back and really see everything. And so you're amazing to work with along those lines. And it's a true talent. It really is. It might be a curse. Maybe it's a curse from time to time. I don't know.
I naming my company Stacy Connects, and it's like, I feel like the tagline should be, I can't help myself. I just love making connections. I just see it so clearly, and this was a no-brainer. And so, you're right. Even if all I'm connecting is enthusiasm and support, then I'm so glad to do that. And, I would encourage listeners to, when you go to the page to make your donation, take it a step further and copy and paste that link and put it on your social media. And let's flood our social media with this campaign, and let's have this vision of teddy bears parachuting down and blanketing Ukraine and these children with some hugs and healing.
I love it. Couldn't say it better.
Thank you. Thank you for talking about this. Thank you for being the force behind it. You're so good about thanking everyone else, and so you get some accolades too.
Appreciate it so much, and all you've done, and the fact that I got to come onto this great show. You do a wonderful job. It's fun. I love listening to it. You two banter back and forth, and like I said, I had to put myself on mute because you're cracking me up. So I'm just going to kick back and listen to the rest of the show now.
Perfect. All right. Well, and we're going to take a quick break, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about the much maligned topic that we picked last week for this week, which is hikes.
Thanks, Eric.
Don't ask me to talk.
Thank you.
Stacy Connects. It's not just my business, it's my superpower. Whether you need the right tone and messaging for a new venture, or you've plateaued with your current one, I can help. I connect clients with themselves and their potential. Then, I identify unique solutions that translate your brand into messaging that connects your target audience with your business. Go to stacyconnects.com to connect with me and your messaging.
Interested in learning something new? Meeting someone new? Find out things that we have in common? Well, of course you are. You're a human being. So let's get intentional about it. Join me, JDK Winnikin, every week and get all of that in less than an hour. I'm a writer, a historian, a social commentator, and my show is all about you. Really, that's what it's called. This show is all about you. Get my perspectives on the week's news and hear fascinating guests whose stories will inspire and move you. My show is all about giving you something that connects us. Join me Mondays on Kixie 880 at 3 p.m. or download it as a podcast.
Can't get enough of Stacy and Eric? Then be sure and check out Stacy Connects with Stacy Heller wherever you find podcasts. Stacy chats with guests about a variety of topics, hoping to make a connection through conversation.
Don't ask me to talk. Welcome to Don't Ask Me to Talk again, or welcome back, I should say. I'm Stacy. I'm joined by Eric.
Still here.
Still there. Of course, the other Eric Crema, we spent a lot of time talking in the segment just before this.
One of the top 2 Erics that work here at Hubbard, I got to say.
I mean, are there only 2?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But he is definitely
right up
in
there.
the top 2.
I mean, I think it's fascinating that there are 2 of you. I mean, it's not that common of a name.
I mean, at a certain point, it was fairly common, I think.
Maybe. Like name trends are a thing.
They absolutely are, yeah.
We'll have to put that on the list of topics.
There you
Name
go.
trends. And birth order. I have thoughts on birth order. Can you tell I'm avoiding the topic for today? So,
It is, yeah, it is our topic for today was hikes, which, it's all of these can be interpreted in lots of different ways. So, I mean, it can be very broad. When I think of hikes, I tend to think of like almost climbing a mountain, but not going so far that you're using a pickaxe and a rope or whatever. But really, a hike could be just taking a walk in the woods, which I'm doing like every week now and really enjoying. So,
well, and do you take Gertie?
I do, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we
Does
found
Gertie wear a raincoat?
She doesn't wear a raincoat. No, she's kind of hard to buy accessories for because she's got a lot of girth. She's barrel chested.
I relate, Gertie.
And has a broad belly.
Oh my
too.
God!
Because she's a beagle mix. We're not sure what the other chunk is.
Okay.
Besides beagle, she mostly looks like a beagle, but she's a little bit more stout than your average beagle. So
Okay.
we think there's something else in there. So I got her a life jacket recently,
Oh,
and everything fits perfectly except around the belly. So gonna have to find a extender for that.
oh yeah, that's interesting.
But yeah, she's whether she likes it or not, becoming a little more of an adventure dog, and I think she is enjoying exploring and hiking. We don't go too far because she gets tired out easily.
Yeah.
I get tired out easily.
I mean, well, and I like your
but
point.
we do have a good time.
I like your point
Baby steps.
that you're making though about the Pacific Northwest, because this region, it is. I remember moving here from the East Coast and being like, "Where's the backyard?" Because there's not a lot of backyards, and we had moved from like 2-acre lots, and it's not like we were super affluent. It's just like that's what it was. And you had yard and whatever. And I'm like, oh, the yard's over there in the mountain. You go visit nature.
Right, but did you live in a city?
No, I was in a suburb.
Okay. So like if you go to some suburbs here or, rural areas, you're going to find much bigger
Yes,
lots.
yes.
For
I mean,
sure.
I'm definitely painting with a wide brush here.
Yes. But if you were in New York, you wouldn't have a backyard.
Oh, no. And it's like you can see the backyard. So your point about hikes, like you can go for a walk in nature and, it's like 5 minutes away, or you can go a little further afield and do a more strenuous hike. And, you can do, have you done the mailbox hike?
I have not.
I think it's called Mailbox Point or something.
Okay.
It's a little bit more of a strenuous hike, and apparently you get to the top and there's a mailbox that's there, And as I understand it, I think you can leave things in the mailbox. So it's kind of like it's a carrot at the end of a hike. I can't speak to it exactly because I haven't done the hike. And it has this weird pride thing where people are like, well, I'm not going to tell you because you didn't do the hike.
Okay.
So, I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Fine. I didn't want to know anyway. So, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many great hikes around here. If you're talking the serious type, like going to a mountain, I mean, we've got so many beautiful mountains, and all of them have fantastic trails. And there's so many of the, every state park has wonderful trails here. So it's really hard to narrow down on what's a favorite. I personally love walking around Point Defiance Park in Tacoma, which feels like a state park, even though it's a city park. It's one of the biggest in the country, and it's very forested and beautiful. And so, just hiking through there feels like you've gone to the coast. So yeah, that's probably my favorite place. You don't probably hike that much, but do you have a favorite spot?
So
and you don't have to get too specific because we don't want to give away our.
Right, because I
we don't want it to be swamped,
deluged with people that are like, "Oh my gosh, I just have to go hiking with you." So I live in Issaquah, and so I really like walking around Lake Sammamish and the trails that are there, and it's beautiful. I love looking at the houses and seeing all the interesting construction and the evolution of like what was probably once kind of like low-key lake houses, and now there's some really interesting architecture there, and I am somebody that I will do like switchbacks and I'll do hikes that are a little bit more rigorous, but I prefer, not really shocking, a longer walk that enables me to talk. And so I don't necessarily want to be like out of breath and like because that ruins the flow of my conversation.
Sure.
So I'm a big fan of that. I really loved when I went to Franklin Falls and I did that hike, and it was like going there and then finding this waterfall, and it's like it was one of those moments where it's like it opens up to you suddenly and you're like, well, that's a little gem. So that's a really cool hike, and it's a very doable hike, which is nice. Poo Poo Point I've done once. And
is that what happens when you get to the mailbox? It becomes Poo Poo Point.
No, so Poo Poo Point is where you can go paragliding in Issaquah.
Okay.
And so my daughter Grace, she's actually paraglided twice off of Poo Poo Point, and you can get to the top a couple ways. You can hike up, or you can take the rickety old kind of van up if you're going to be gliding because, you want to get up there faster. And I will say those hikes that are really steep, the going up isn't so bad. Going down is what is brutal on your knees.
I prefer the going down to the going up myself because I don't like that getting out of breath thing. But I'm looking up Franklin Falls, and yeah, that is near Snoqualmie Pass. So that is definitely one I will have to check out.
And even going to Snoqualmie Falls, and
Snoqualmie Falls, a beautiful
going
hike
down
right
there.
Yeah, that's great.
And getting closer to the waterfall, I think that's amazing.
Lived here for a long, long time, and only was it maybe in the last 2-3 years that I finally made it out to Snoqualmie Falls. And I said, "What took me so long? This is beautiful."
It's gorgeous. One of the best gifts that we were given when we were making the move from Connecticut here is somebody found a book about best hikes in the Pacific Northwest. And I'm sure there's a bajillion of them. But what I loved is the way that the book was divided, and it had, like hikes for toddlers, hikes if you've got like, a jogger stroller, or, you're going to have a younger kid, hikes if you want to, somebody's going to be on foot and somebody's going to be on maybe a dirt bike, short hikes, long hikes, and just having this resource that we could look up, like, how much time do we want to commit to this? You know, do we want to break a sweat or do we want to have a view? You know, that was an amazing gift. And, you know, there's a lot of options out there.
There definitely are. There's definitely too many to mention, unfortunately. And if we even dedicated the whole show to it. But I think even though you and I are not known as, you know, big fans of exercise or big fans of, you know, I don't know. I don't think of us as being particularly outdoorsy, even though we both have a nice appreciation for nature. Mm-hmm. But you can't help but once you get out into the woods to, you know, enjoy the beauty and take it all in and, you know, feel a little bit better about life. So
I agree.
Highly recommended if you can get out there. We've got a stretch of nice weather coming up, of course, called the summertime. So take advantage of it if you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, we will share if you have some hikes that you recommend, whether they're, you know, really crazy hikes or easy hikes or a favorite hike or whatever it is, please share it with us and we'll share your faves with listeners. And again, we're supposed to be sharing good things. So text or call 475-999-2726 and let us know what your favorites are or the ones to stay away from or the trail that is not traveled as much. And we'll share it with listeners.
Yeah,
and
they can be urban hikes. They can be nature hikes. It's all good.
Right. So, you know, get out there. Take a hike. I mean, not really, but kind of. Okay.
Don't take a hike just yet. You got to stick around because we've got more show.
We do have more show. And today I think Vance is busy in the kitchen working
He's
up.
off hiking.
I mean, probably. He's probably playing hooky and on a hike right now. And so we actually have self-described #1 fan of Dingfelder's Delicatessen who is going to be doing our segment, What Are We Eating? Sponsored by Dingfelder. So keep listening. We'll be right back. Don't ask me to talk. Stacy Connects. It's not just my business, it's my superpower. Whether you need the right tone and messaging for a new venture, or you've plateaued with your current one, I can help. I connect clients with themselves and their potential. Then, I identify unique solutions that translate your brand into messaging that connects your target audience with your business. Go to stacyconnects.com to connect with me and your messaging. Don't ask me to talk. Welcome back to Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm your host, Stacy Heller, and I'm joined, of course, by Eric.
Hey.
So all of that hiking and do-gooding has
just talking about hiking has exhausted us.
And made us hungry.
And made us hungry, sure.
So for our segment, What Are We Eating This Week? Vance is, I think he's cooking. He's cooking up a storm. And so we have a special guest, a regular, a fan, a huge fan
I'm
of
from
Dingfelder's.
Yonkers, New York.
Yeah, I mean, so like an expert.
And I'm representing Lincoln Park Jewish Center.
Okay.
Right on Central Avenue.
So.
And I've been to Katz's many times.
Okay.
So I am a certified expert.
All right. So therefore, you can tell
Katz's is good.
Katz's is good.
Yeah, but, you know, if it's
but
me,
it's no
I prefer
Dingfelder's.
That's what I was just about to say.
And it's a little far. So it's
Yes.
like the cost of the sandwich plus the flight. And
yes,
gas
for anybody
is up
who doesn't
right now.
know, it's in Manhattan.
Yes.
So it's a
So
little bit far.
since Vance can't be here and you can, maybe you can talk to or speak to your favorites at Dingfelder's and talk about the authentic Jewish deli. Talk about your love of deli and Dingfelder's and what we should all be eating and trying.
Well, first of all, Dingfelder's is an answered prayer that particularly with the loss of Goldberg's on the east side,
Mm-hmm.
when Vance opened up Dingfelder's, it really was a ray of sunshine and continues to enlarge. You probably know that Vance is a perfectionist. And so when he started out, it was kind of a soft launch. And he didn't have everything on the menu that he has today.
Mm-hmm.
So he kind of went from strength to strength. In any case, his motto is it's all about the meat.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went and got my first sandwich, of course, I paid for the sandwich and thought, it better be good. Then I had the sandwich, and I'm like, oh, shut my mouth. Right?
Mm-hmm.
This thing is worth every cent.
Well, and it's like 2 meals.
Yeah, that. And early on, he was actually having the rye bread sent from New York.
Mm-hmm.
Now they bake the rye bread. They worked and perfected the rye bread, so it's baked right, at the deli.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole thing, the mustard,
The mustard.
the coleslaw, the everything. I mean, there's nothing wanting. And then, of course, the combos, right? The Mrs. Maisel and the chopped liver and the whole thing. It's the pickles.
Are you a fan of the whitefish?
Who isn't a fan of the whitefish?
I haven't tried the whitefish.
So you have no basis for even bringing it up.
Because I know that you've talked about it.
Here's the problem.
It feels
The problem
very specific.
is I like to be somebody, right? So I'm walking around with Vance from time to time, typically, and he's got the Dingfelder sweatshirt, and people come up to him, and they're going on, right? And, they'll even say, have you been to Dingfelder's Delicatessen? And he'll say, I am the Dingfelder, right? And they'll look at me, and I'm like, don't worry, I'm nobody, right? But people literally, I'll be walking around, getting the COVID pandemic exercise in Volunteer Park with him, and people will come up and say, you saved my father's life with that whitefish salad. And they really say it.
I see, and that's the thing. I haven't tried it. I need to because
no, you're not on death's door. You don't need to try it yet, right?
Well, I mean,
Now,
his
can
soup,
we talk about the salmon salad?
Oh, so it is amazing.
Right.
Between the smoked salmon and when he does through Nourish, he'll do a poached salmon, and then there's the salmon salad. And
But the salmon salad, that salmon is smoked actually custom to his actual specifications over a certain wood for a certain time at a certain temperature. That salmon just doesn't happen.
yeah, that salmon is a crowd pleaser. I will say that for our daughter's, not Eric's and my daughter, we don't have a daughter, my daughter's graduation, I was on the East Coast, and we had a lovely salmon at the luncheon and whatever. It was wonderful. It was not Dingfelder's.
Sorry.
And I'm like, I can't believe it that, it's just amazing.
That was a rude awakening.
It was a rude awakening. Okay, what are your other favorite things?
Well, the latkes are particularly fabulous. And being a very good friend of Vance's, I will sometimes have a corned beef sandwich, but instead of bread, it's on latkes. That's right.
That's a hack.
You know it.
Wow.
Now, by the way, they've been working and working after they got the rye bread down. They have been working on Kaiser rolls.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, so we've talked about this before, I think, Eric, like the whole Kaiser roll and hero sandwiches and the whole thing. When I was on the East Coast last week and I went into the grocery store, I almost picked up a thing of Kaiser rolls so that you could.
In a plastic bag?
Yeah,
No.
I know, but I had to be at the grocery store, but it said on the packaging, Kaiser rolls. I know it's not the same.
By the way, I'm looking at you incredulously. Where could you be going with this?
I'm just saying that it's a very specific thing to the East Coast. So the fact that as a transplant, I'm going to be able to have an authentic, fresh, not from the grocery store in the plastic bag
That's right.
roll, I
Right.
am beside myself.
Yeah. I was having a very tough day last week. Very tough. And of course, I went over the delicatessen. I had a warm turkey sandwich ordered with Russian dressing and coleslaw.
Oh,
And I ordered on rye bread. When Vance heard that, of course, he had to countermand the whole situation. He well understood it needed a Kaiser roll, which it did. And it was smooth sailing for the rest of the day.
it can really turn your day around.
That's right.
I love that. Now, I have taken advantage of Nourish Catering.
Did I mention the wild cherry Dr. Brown soda?
Are you a fan of cherry soda?
You know, I like all sodas. But of course, if you're going to do the full Jewish deli experience, a Dr. Brown's is,
Right, but what's
essential,
important,
right?
I mean, real boss move is being able to match the soda with the sandwich. Right?
Oh, it's like a pairing.
Yeah, you could go celery. You could go cream, right? Which would be all right. But I knew to deploy the black cherry Dr. Brown's.
It brought out the undertones of the Russian dressing,
Oh, yes.
the tartness.
Yes. And, when Vance knew which direction I was going in, he gave me an approving nod.
He is good that way. He's very supportive. I love that you're good at pairing, like which soda is going to go with which Dingfelder's sandwich.
Well, where I'm from, you grow up knowing these things. This is part of your DNA.
That is true. That is true. Okay. Desserts. What's your fave?
Well, I would be doing a disservice to the listener to not mention the cheesecake.
Mm.
New York cheesecake, right? That's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
However, his is not the actual typical style, the usual New York cheesecake. It is a cheesecake that will really, people who don't like cheesecake, I'll say if I'm online and somebody asks, or if they don't ask, I will certainly interject myself. But his cheesecake should make you cry. Tears of joy. Now, of course, there's a lot of things. One of my areas of pride should be on my resume is that I was very closely involved in the development of the black and white cookie.
It's so good.
You know it. And I believe it's all due to my input.
Naturally.
Right? The final recipe was not approved until, I gave it the seal of approval.
Does it have lemon in it?
If I told you,
It wouldn't be a secret.
I'm really not authorized. I'm
So
barely
you're just a friend of the deli.
No, I'm barely authorized to give this segment, but I would never be permitted to speak publicly if I told you.
I'm going to have to ask him. He is the sponsor of the show.
Right.
I mean, well, Eric and I keep talking about the fact that one of these days he's going to bring a bag of food for us because every time we talk about the deli, it makes us
What do you mean
hungry.
one of these days he's going to bring a bag of food?
Well, because he's typically working at the deli, so he'll call us while he's doing his thing. And I've had his food a lot of times. Eric has had it a couple of times. But as a sponsor of the show, I think that he is long overdue for bribing us with some delicious vittles.
Totally.
Thank you.
Now look at when you renegotiate the sponsorship, right?
I'm going to have you on my side.
Not necessarily.
Well, I know, but
I'm a friend of the deli.
I know.
I'm just saying.
But maybe you'll work for deli? All right. Any other final things that are a must try?
Well, it should be mentioned that there's babka, there's rugula, right?
Which do you
now,
like, cinnamon or chocolate?
Both.
That's a good answer.
Which of your children do you love more?
I mean, it depends on the day.
Oh.
I'm
right.
just
well,
saying.
I'm a better parent because I love both. Anyhow.
Right.
And of course, it should be mentioned that we're, for the holiday of Purim, Vance is making hamantaschen.
Oh.
And when I put his hamantaschen, I think his is the official delicatessen of our psychiatric practice. When I put his hamantaschen on Twitter, it blew up our Twitter account.
Nice.
Right?
The good work that you do.
Right. It's not limited to mental health.
Well, but I mean, isn't it mental health?
In my opinion, yes.
Good deli is good mental health.
Right. That's right.
There you go.
So in any case, I got this amazing response regarding this hamantaschen, which are kind of triangular pastries.
Mm-hmm.
That, of course, he couldn't leave well enough alone. It had to be dipped in chocolate. It had to be dipped in sprinkles and what have you, unique fillings. So he got responses from particularly Asia.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Who knew that that's what Asia needed?
I mean, honestly, it's a thing, I suppose. Well, okay. So thank you. So Rich Adler, he has a practice. It's the fcpsych.com. He's a clinical and forensic psychiatrist who his legacy is to help people that are dealing with PTSD with the PTSD Institute.
But delicatessen is an ancillary treatment.
Yes. And so I just wanted to give you props. And so if a psychiatrist tells you that it's going to help with your mental health, I think this is a prescription that you should follow.
Totally.
So thank you. Thank you for being a fan of Dingfelders. Thank you for being a impromptu guest on the show.
Well, I can't make salmon salad, but in my own little way, I stood in for Vance.
Yes, you did. And I appreciate it very much. And once again, Eric and I end this segment totally hungry.
Oh, man, I'm gonna have to see Rich at the deli because I know I'm going to be there more often now after hearing that conversation, of course. But you know what time it is. We're rapidly reaching the end of the program. So we got to figure out what we're going to talk about on next week's show.
Okay.
So let's spin the wheel and find out.
Okay. Uh-oh, you're chuckling.
I'm chuckling because I don't know exactly what this means, but it's app. So,
favorite apps.
Favorite apps on your phone or favorite apps that you have before your main course?
I think it was tech, so I think it's favorite apps on your phone.
Okay.
Oh, that's a good one. All right.
Sure.
So,
and it's right under technology as a choice. So we really that seems like that could have been combined, but we'll talk. We'll do this work off the air.
I don't know. I have a lot of apps that I use. So, all right. Well, that's exciting. If anybody has any apps that are their favorite that you think that we should know about, remember that you can call or you can text 475-999-2726. And we would love to hear what your favorite apps are. And if we talk about it on air, you might just win a Dingfelders Delicatessen gift certificate.
I bet there's some good apps there.
Right? There's an app for that. Thanks for listening, everyone. We will see you next week.